quickly wasting my time here. Thank you. Mr. Hamilton, does the Border Patrol have the authority to refuse to allow illegal crossings?
Depending on the context in which you're speaking, at a port of entry, they certainly do. And certainly that's why they build in physical infrastructures to prevent the illegal entry of aliens into the United States, which is, of course, is also a federal crime.
Great. What legal authority does a state like Texas have to protect its border?
Well, under current interpretations of various courts, those authorities remain limited under certainly Supreme Court's decision in Arizona. Under the Constitution, I think there's those who have different thoughts about that.
Okay. Mr. Wolf, Vice President Harris was put in charge of the border crisis by President Biden. What has she done?
Little to nothing, in my opinion.
What can you tell us about the trafficking of children across the southern border?
Again, in this, over the last 33 months, we've had about 500,000 unaccompanied alien children being trafficked across that border.
500,000.
That is a record number in the last almost 3 years.
500,000 in 3 years, did you say?
A little under 3 years.
Okay. If American companies invested in a country like Guatemala and created jobs there, would that help with the flow of migrants?
Undoubtedly, yes.
How is Secretary Mayorkas hiding illegal immigrants using the CBP One app?
Well, again, a number of aliens are using that CBP app to come into the country. They're waiting in northern Mexico, and we talk a lot about MPP, but they have their version of MPP, which is using that CBP One app that you can only access in northern Mexico and then having to wait in northern Mexico to receive your appointment at a port of entry.
Is Mayorkas fulfilling his constitutional duty?
That is a negative, no, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Chairman, whatever. I yield you the rest of my time. I'm reclaiming my time, which means nothing. Oh, Maria. I would like to yield the remainder of my time to Maria Salazar. I think I have about a minute and a half.
Thank you very much. I'm Maria Salazar from the city of Miami, and I just want to say thank you, Congressman. I just want to say that we have the same goals. I agree with sealing the border. I voted for H.R. 2, and I'm just like you, nauseated by the fact that kids are being trafficked. You know, those children belong to my community. I belong to the Hispanic minority, which is the largest minority in the country. So I'm with you. Biden has done a horrible job, right? So we are on the same page. My problem is that H.R. 2, which is the law that we passed, needs some teeth for it to become the law of the land. Do you agree with me? Do you think, Mr. Wolf, that H.R. 2 will become the law of the land? You think it could pass the Senate? It will be signed by President Biden. Yes or no?
I think it would be a good step forward to securing the border.
No, we understand that it would be fantastic. The problem is that there's something missing, which is what are we going to do with those 10 million people who are here, and that we understand that under President Trump, who had an effective immigration policy, sir. I'm looking at you, sir, Mr. Wolf,
yes.
Right? Mr. Trump deported 8,000 illegals a year, but if we make the math, or we do the math, we're talking about 10 million inland, so that's 123 years that we would need in order to deport everybody. So all I'm trying to do, and I repeat, I'm on your side, is try to really get something on the books so we can seal the border and stop having those kids being raped. What do you think we could do?
I think the question here is, what do you do with the number of individuals here in the United States? Do you deport them? Do you remove them?
But stop right there. Yes. Okay, let's try to deport them. We have tried that. But, you know, am I right in saying that we don't have enough agents? Mr. Trump tried it.
Without a doubt a challenge.
Mr. Obama tried it. Every single president has tried it. And they are working on the fields, in construction and hospitality. Am I correct? Am I rigorous in what I'm saying?
It's been a challenge, without a doubt.
The Republicans should be the party, so the Dems will not call us a bunch of racists anymore, that they do not have the monopoly on compassion. We are compassionate too, because you're concerned about those kids that speak and sound like me are being raped right now, correct? So don't you think that the Republicans should be the party that should be ahead, finding a solution so we can stop this and put some order at the border, stop the asylum system being gamed? Because, you know, my people are gaming it every single day. Do I make sense?
Yes, Congressman.
So then what do you think we should do as Republicans?
Again, I think H.R. 2 is a good first step. I think there's a lot more that can be done to secure that border. I think as you deal with, and it's really an issue for Congress, as you deal with the individuals that are here illegally, you have to close the loopholes that continue to funnel more and more folks coming here illegally.
Oh, I agree with you. Let's
And so
seal
part of
no,
that is
let's
H.R. 2.
seal the border. Let's seal it. I have presented a law called the Dignity Act, which does that. And burns at the stake the child sex traffickers. Just
Gentlelady's
30
time
more minutes.
expired. Chair recognizes
We
Ms.
want to
Titus.
burn at the stake the child sex traffickers. But
Gentlelady's time has
Congress
expired.
needs to do it. Thank
The
you.
chair recognizes Ms. Titus.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I didn't realize I was going to have a time before we left. I just want to go over a couple of things. We're going to close the border, so that would stop kids from being raped. Well, many of them are being raped in